What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So I did mention in my last Reflex video that I would be interested in doing some old school tournaments and races. So that is exactly what you're looking at today. This is hosted by Croffy and I think a few other people. I'm not sure of all of those in charge. But this is round number 9 of their series, and this is at Washougal, as you can tell. And how the format of this was, it goes heats, LCQ, and then the motos. And in this heat race, you were looking at top 5, which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was top 6 originally, but that is my own fault for not doing my homework. And it was both really nice and refreshing, but also very, very frustrating playing Reflex online again. It was very nostalgic for me. It made like put a massive smile on my face actually seeing a bunch of people online again for the first time in God knows how long. But then also I forgot just how difficult it is, more in terms of like netcode than anything. You know, I have my few complaints about MX bikes and MX sim online, like connection issues, people kind of not being where they are on your screen for themselves, etc. But I forgot just how bad Reflex was. It doesn't take away from the fun at all. It's just one of them things that you have to take into account, and if people hit you or you hit them, that doesn't necessarily reflect on their screen as well, which makes it a little bit frustrating sometimes, because I think I've got absolutely destroyed by people once or twice throughout the process of this night and this race, and there's just, you know, it's no fault of their own. They probably didn't hit me on their screen at all, and Reflex is a very interesting game. Now, whilst this is all playing in the background, this is a quick 5-lapper. This is the heat race I'm in right now, and remember again, it is top 5 that go through. I'm just trying to kind of get my bearings again and not ride too arse, because the track had been out for a week at this point, and I'd only played it for like on the day. I didn't know about it. Croffy actually messaged me on Discord with the invite to the server and stuff to get involved. So I was definitely down on hours compared to most, and I just want to say there are some people that are absolutely nuts at this game still, like absolutely insane. Sorry about that, Quincy. There, I didn't mean to get into you so hard. Like I was I want to say my best lap from the entire time of me playing this Washougal track was a 2 minute point, or 2 minutes and 1 second. Now, that was my absolute best lap heater, and people were doing like 156s in the actual races. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But interestingly enough, I did find out afterwards that apparently the resolution and quality that you play this game in does actually have an effect on the height map and the track itself. So apparently 1920 is better than the 2K that I was playing in, and playing it in low like quality as well, it makes the track, how do I explain it? It's not as rough, you know, it's easier and you don't get as many random crashes, which I have since tried, and I can actually agree that yes, that is the case. It's so strange, but it's one of them secret things, you know. It's a bloody 10-year-old game. It's going to have its weird and wonderful features. So back to this race right here. So the heat 1, as I said, and you got to put yourself in my shoes right now. At this point in time, I'm thinking, okay, I'm safe. Top 6 go through. I just need to hold off the guy behind me who is 6-7 seconds behind. Leader's long gone. Leader's 23 seconds ahead. But there is someone just in front of me here who I was trying to chase down and close as well. And I'm very torn between trying to just chill out and maintain position, or try and put on the burners a little bit and potentially risk crashing and losing a whole lot more time. That was my thing through this entire event, was I never felt very comfortable. Even if I was taking the same lines lap after lap, I feel like it was very unpredictable on what would happen. So that there just completely blew my back end over it, where I didn't enter it. I entered it too late, so the front end went in, the back end didn't, and that's one of the most frustrating things. Is with some of the these custom ruts that are made. Once you get in them perfectly, they are so quick. It's basically like a Scalextrics track. You haven't really got to do any turning yourself. It's all done for you. But if you mess it up a tiny little bit, get your front wheel or your back wheel out ever so slightly, it will make you pay for it. You'll hit the ground. Alternatively, if you get into it a little bit too deep and you lean over too far and your handlebars barely touch the ground, you'll go flying off as well. You can look forward to a lot of that towards the end of this video. But I felt quite good at this point. I was like, okay, 10 seconds over the guy in 7th. Nice, easy job. Can sail it home to the finish on the last 2 laps. And you can see my lap time at the top right it's only a 207, which is over 10 seconds slower than what other people in the race were doing. And there's even the guy who ended up winning the whole thing, a little bit of a spoiler alert, plays on PC, plays on keyboard and mouse, which I found even more impressive because I could not comprehend playing a game like this where you're either steering or accelerating all or nothing. You know, I'm quite a progressive player, whereas I like to roll on the throttle or slowly start turning around a corner rather than all or nothing. It's just how I've played all of my motocross games, really. And I think that does stem from my couple thousand hours on Sim over the years. That like Sim, it's very, very difficult to play all or nothing. You do have to be very, very precise on that game. There's like corners like that right there that I absolutely loved getting into the inside rut when I could do. One thing I really struggle with on this game is the braking itself. So you'll see me, I tend to coast into a lot of corners for the sole reason that I feel like as soon as I brake, the back end will skip out one way or the other, which will then obviously interrupt me trying to get into a rut, and it will just cause me to get all kinds of out of shape and whiskey and crash. So if you see me coasting a lot on the controller overlay in the bottom right, that is the reason why. We're on the last lap here. Again, I'm in P6, I'm happy, I'm chilling. Up and over the step up here. But this corner is one of the most awkward ones for me. I don't know why. I could never ever get into the ruts. I think the braking bumps always just kicked me a little bit too high over them, and I couldn't get settled into them. But again, best lap 205. My best lap running up to this was a 201, so way off the pace. There is no sort of consistency or general speed there at all, which I was actually I'm a bit frustrated with. I'm such a sore loser when it comes to games. I like winning. You know, I can't help it. It's just how I am. So coming through here, I was so happy. I was like, yes, I've made it through. Only for me to cross the line and then realise after the fact that it's actually top 5. So we go to the LCQ instead. So I actually knew in this that it's the top 2 that go through in the LCQ. And it's a quick 3-lap dash, so nothing too wild. I suppose if you get a good start, if you can pull away a little bit, should be no problem whatsoever. And I think there's only, I'd say 6 or 7 people in this. And a decent start there, like not too bad whatsoever. And I get into Andreas there, but it luckily didn't affect either of us. So happy days. P2 out of the start. Can't ask for much more than that. Shooting up this hill, and I think I'm being so tentative. Like, I don't want to turn into him. I hope that he doesn't turn into me. And I was had very wobbly thumbs at this point, I want to say. I was all over the place. And then out of nowhere, a wild moto appears. He did comment on one of my videos the other day, actually, I think apologising for that exact moment. So it's all good. It happens. I know that this game is weird and wonderful sometimes, and we got someone else there come flying down that hill or wadding himself. So it's still not too bad. We're still in P3. We're still chugging along and with a possibility of qualifying through to the motos themselves. We've got Barsha and Andreas in front of us here. And I think in terms of speed, I wasn't too, like, out of it with these two in front of me. I think I was quite happy with the pace, and if nothing, I think I was a tiny bit faster, which you'll come to see in a little bit. I do start gaining on them as well. Very nice, that inside rut there when you got it, and you can see how much time it gained me. And oh my god, Andreas went so long. I'm guessing he got a little reflex icon there because he slowed right up. And then I was absolutely bricking myself there, thought I was going to get into the Red Bull Arch, and then look at that. Oh, this game, you gotta love it and hate it. And then I turn around and then get respawned just before I get on the track as well. So not only did it mess me up by shooting me off to the right hand side when I was quite clearly turning left, it also screwed me with a hard reset afterwards as well. So back into 3rd place with 2 laps to go, right onto the back of Andreas here. That corner as well was also having a lot of grief with. I kept getting kicked into it. And these few corners, if you can get them nice, they're so good, like proper Scalextrics type ruts. Didn't get in that one on the right, but Andreas messed it up a lot more than I. So we go through into P2, and then I think I end up chilling here. I think I'd end up chilling in P2 for quite some time, and it's one of them that just put your head down, start charging, and I think I was just staring at that green number on the left for the most part to see how much time I had to work with, as I get all kinds of whiskey over that. And I think Andreas must have gone down for a split second because he lost like 3 seconds there, and even though I did technically end up cutting that corner with the slide and basically coming to a stop, I don't think it would have actually gained me any time at all. These rollers were very difficult for me. I don't know why. I was getting kicked all kinds of sideways. So I was just trying to be so tentative. Fast forwarded onto the last lap. So that was a 2:03. That was my best lap so far. And this is where things get interesting. So I crashed once at the start of the lap, and you can see I've got 4 to 5 seconds to work with here. So in my mind, I mean, you could see I'm on the left-hand side going the other way. I'm thinking, right, it's 1 lap. if I just ride around the track as normal, don't try and go too fast, just finish the lap, I should have absolutely no problem. So that's exactly what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to push and somehow gain 11 seconds and get the win. I was just trying to manage that gap to behind, and you can see that's even gone up to 6 seconds now. So in terms of actual pace, very, very happy. Hit that corner so nice. I was so happy with that one, and then completely missed that inside rut and went over all those. So very, very inconsistent. Definitely wasn't my strong suit throughout the entire night. And obviously I am post-commentating this. I was absolutely sweating my ass off trying to do something well, and I didn't know if I should even turn it into a video or not, to be honest. But here we are. Instead, I think I should just show you all the weird and wonderful stuff that I get up to in my free time. So whoever's behind me right now is gaining, and whatever that crash was so frustrating. I have dropped off that drop-off multiple times, had no issues at all, and then that one time, for some reason, I don't even get a reflex indicator, as I just almost get knocked out by a bike. I didn't get a reflex indicator to try and correct it, it just insta made me crash. But then obviously you saw that bike, the people behind were having issues as well, so no problem there. So we've still got 4 seconds to work with a couple corners left to go. And I won't lie, I was getting hella nervous at this point, like way too nervous. I thought, a couple corners, just take it easy, nice and slowly. I think like I go into this corner so slowly as well, just coasting in, get the rut really nicely. Then for some reason, I decided to stretch out that table that I hadn't stretched out the rest of the night. Again, insta crash on the landing without any chance of a reflex indicator to save it as well. Looking behind, they are gaining. You know, I'm trying to get my speed up as they're hitting a downhill, and it's all kind of weird and wonderful. Literally have a single corner to go with 2-second lead. Go to hit this rut that I'm hitting every other time. Game says no. I was so pissed. You have no idea. So then Moto goes through. He claims the number 2 position on the last lap. I go across in third, thrown it all the way. So that's how my first race back went. I didn't qualify, didn't make it through to the main event, but I did have a hell of a lot of fun. Croffy did offer up his spot for the motos after this, but I said, you know what, I didn't deserve it. Doesn't matter. It's okay. I'll try again next week. So I might try the next round. I might not. We'll see how it goes. Either way, I had a hell of a lot of fun playing Reflex again online with people, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you could please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is that you're up to, and until I catch you in the next video, peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got